Temple of Jupiter, and they went down mere minutes before I did.
I think they're trying to get in though.
Near the temples the entire time. One was not in Rome, one was in my estate, and the other one, I don't know what. What were you doing the whole day? We can have this. We tell us up there on the balcony, and they can defend and they can attest the sinner's alibi. And the same can be done for GPS, and the same can be. The other, I do not even know the names of the other Legion 3 members, but I have no affiliation, I had no knowledge of this desecration whatsoever. That was all I can say on this part.
Very well.
May I ask a question?
Please.
Do you in your heart truly regret any involvement you had with the heretics, and do you accept the Roman gods, the Roman pantheon as your true gods?
Yes, I have, and I always will be. We have Mercury Shrine and a Minerva Shrine within our own household. I pray to them as often as I can. I've given sacrifices. I even donated a stack of golden blocks to the church for these sacrifices. I have sacrificed a significant amount of my own personal wealth for Jupiter and for the church. And Lucius, you can attest to that. You remember when I came in there with a significant amount of wealth to give over.
Yeah, you did.
I have not in any of my personal actions acted against the church or the gods in any capacity.
I see. Thank you, Senator. It would seem, however, that even if in your own personal capacity you have not committed blasphemy or heresy, you remain accused, I believe, of gross negligence in the overseeing of your family and the charges of your family, in that you have allowed them to engage in these severe heretical acts which have jeopardized our republic with the wrath of the gods. How do you respond to those allegations?
I do not believe those allegations are at all fair, because can it not be known that Lucius and the Aurelian house had heretics in their own midst, that there was a heretic basement in their own estate? Am I to be accused of gross negligence when Aurelian himself was not accused of the same thing? When we are both very, very, very busy at the Senate, I have dedicated a significant portion of my life, if not majority of my life, to serving this republic. And there are times where I do not have purview over my own estate. I am in my estate almost never. And again, members of my estate, Metellia and, Sarius over there, they can attest that I am at my estate perhaps only to sleep and to eat, and then I leave again once more to conduct my duties. I do not have the capacity to watch over my estate. Unfortunately, as much as I'd wish I could, I have too much work outside of my own estate.
I understand. We all share that burden. Yet each of us has, in our wisdom, I believe, entrusted our households to those who will oversee them in our absences. So perhaps if yours is not a failure to directly oversee your house, then it is a failure to appoint a competent person to do so in your absence. But I believe... Sorry, go ahead.
I admit to that mistake. I should not have made Esther my estate manager. I had not at all known that she would betray me in such a way, betray the Republic in such a way. Actions that are heretical damage the Republic. They cause the plebeians to starve. They cause all manner of chaos. And whilst I'm willing to accept punishment for putting Esther in a position where she could abuse the trust of the Republic, of myself, and of the Senate, I ask that it just be understood that I was not aware of her deeper motives. For all the years that I had known her, I had known her ever since she was a child, and she had always been a loyal servant, and had always prayed to Minerva. And she, again, talked about this to Lucius. At least in my eyes, there had never been any indication of her tendencies, her irrational tendencies towards the safety of everyone and towards the gods. This is not something that I can be held in regard for not being aware of, because there was no way for me to know.
Very well.
Might I
Thank
say
you for your
something?
testimony, Senator. You may.
Two things. Well, actually, multiple things. In relation to my family's accused heretical actions, I will admit that there was a heretic shrine found underneath my home, but that was a new member of the household who had joined and sort of snuck in throughout coercing other individuals of the administration of my household, not a house manager. In addition to that, my uncle, who was accused, was acquitted by Jupiter himself, and I myself received Jupiter's divine blessing after fighting off an attempted possession by false gods. This is not an equivalent situation to yours, where your household, keep, whatever, decided to knowingly antagonize the gods, and then continued to attempt to desecrate the temple and the altar, and then ran away and then assaulted many members. It's a false equivalency. In addition,
Her actions are not my actions, Lucius. Her actions
I'm
are
not
not
saying
my
they
actions.
are. I'm just saying you equating your situation to mine is completely false. I was blessed by the gods and given forgiveness for my lack of action, my failure to keep my house safe. You
And
have
when
not
I-
received such blessings.
Yes,
You were not
but
struck down. I will say that you were not struck down. Jupiter's wrath has abated. But
Yeah.
I know for a fact, unrelated to the religious accusations, I did see you and Tribune Marcus walking around the area, the Senate, the whole entire area, walking around with armor. And last I checked, you were not member of the clergy nor member of the Legion. So I asked why you were doing so, and why are you allowing the Tribune to do so as well?
that happened out of, I will be honest, I did so out of fear and confusion. This had occurred because I had left the meeting early because I was distraught at the arrest of my daughter. As you are aware of, I was not privy to the finality of the Senate meetings. However, I ended up becoming aware of a civil war, of people going around on the street and slaying each other. I feared for my safety, and when I saw you and other senators walking around in armor, including, for example, Flavius Zephyr, which, if I'm correct, you're part of the administration, right?
I
could
am,
be incorrect. Yes, I saw Flavius Zephyr walking around in armor as well, and since I had saw him wearing armor as a senator, I deemed it okay for me to also wear armor, simply
So
due to
if
the
you see
emergency
another
at
person
hand.
sin, you just allow yourself to sin?
He's a senator.
If I may, my friends, I believe we are getting distracted on
Yes, this is a
subsidiary
trial
issues
about
here.
heresy and conspiracy.
The chaos that has just spread across this city needs to be addressed by the Senate and will be addressed by the Senate, but that is a larger issue, and I would confine this discussion and this trial to the specific allegations against Senator Lucrezia that do not apply to other senators. Now, myself and Senator Aurelian have spoken quite a bit. I would hear thoughts from the other senators, please.
If I may speak, I also find your comparison of the situation and Lucius' situation a little difficult to accept, as Lucius never himself meddled in heresy. That's all I have to say.
I understand. I understand if you find it difficult to accept. I only wish to point it out because it was something that happened. Even if our situations were not identical, at the end of the day, we both had issues with other people doing heretical things within our own household without our knowledge or permission.
Would any other senators speak on these matters? These are, as you all know, serious allegations against a colleague of ours. Most of you have been silent.
If I may.
Please.
I was not present during the arrest or when they found the cultist altar, because I was at the Temple of Jupiter, protecting the Temple of Jupiter. But I will say that now is not the time to be lenient on the heretics. The Pontifex talked about this before this morning at the meeting, the Senate meeting, and well, we can see that the rain has not stopped and that the gods are still angry. What I saw at the Temple of Jupiter is someone trying to desecrate the altar to Jupiter, the king of the gods, and on top of that, someone showing leniency to someone who had desecrated the temples, and then throwing vile accusations at my cousin as well. I do not believe now is the time to be lenient. I think we should put down the hammer on those who destroy our beautiful city and who decide to lack faith towards the gods.
50 years of service, and this is what happens at the end. Is this what you wished you put it down to? I have spent my entire life fighting for the Republic. I have spent every moment of my living fiber doing nothing but working for this Republic. I have done nothing wrong. I have had a spotless record for so long, and now one thing happens, and that is me showing leniency to someone who I considered the love of my life.
But Emilia, have you not yourself accused the Umbrian senators?
That is a different matter of which I will speak of. I believe there are people who can attest to this, and I would wish to have them summoned for attestation on this matter, because me making these accusations were things that were brought to myself by other people within this area, within the Republic.
Look, I'm not speaking about taking your life, but I do not believe that someone with the leniency towards the gods and towards the law should keep this fight aside. Again, you may get into your vote, but I think the power
Cousin, if I may. This is a grave betrayal of the highest order. And I wish to provide a witness as to excuse me, this is very difficult, my friends. Provide a witness as to attest to the acts of heresy and Amelia's prior words on such actions. Mr. Unknown, if you would step forward.
Thank you. As everyone knows,
keep it quick, please.
I was invited to a meeting 30 minutes into session, and I attended it. And I saw Amelia being there, sitting there with them as if they were their own. They were planning Republican. They were planning to revolt against the Rome, the whole rule. For what reason? With aggression. I saw all the people that were there. They were present in the Legion 4. The Legion 2 and the expedition team fought against them as they tried to assassinate the judge that was appointed today. And you, in fact, were there. You knew this was about to happen. I, in fact, had to leave 2 minutes into the meeting, and I didn't know the context. But you, in fact, told me about how you're waiting for the wine to blend in to your plans. You wanted it to fit perfectly in so you wouldn't be accused of anything. You're trying to control the Rome from the shadows, destroy everything for no absolute reason. And here you are as a Senate, standing here trying to defend your family. But for what reason? I thought we all dedicated ourselves towards Rome. We, the expedition team, came back looking for the judge, see that the Legion 4 times was formed due to your influence.
I will state against this. I did not form that Legion. That was not my Legion. And you know very well that there were members of House Umbra at that meeting as well.
House Umbra, in fact, informed
our
head.
You pledged your support. House Umbra pledged their support to these people. I did not
We-
pledge any
we-
support. The difference
we, in
between
fact-
me and you, the difference
Ah.
between me and you is that I was there to figure things out. I was there to understand because I had been invited by the very person who told me of your plans, Lavinia, to
And
attend
so
that
they were-
meeting so I could investigate the treasonous actions that I had been informed of by Umbria, and I witnessed 2 members of your household go
I
and
would like
pledge
to say
military
something.
support and armor and weapons to these people. They were baying for blood in that thing. I testified. I told them not to do that because I did not want to see bloodshed on the streets.
Why did you
for a
not have a
moment.
Senate meeting? You were in the Senate meeting. Why didn't you inform anyone about it? Why didn't you not bring it up? Why are you using her as your scapegoat? Why, in fact? Even if I was in the meeting, I did not know the context. All I said is everyone should be treated equally and respectfully under the law. And I, in fact, was also running for judge because I respect the Rome's law and the laws set by the Senate. Unfortunately, you could have brought this up. This would have never have taken place. You know how many people's blood you have on your hand? Your own family, and the legionnaires, and our legionary
Unknown.
troops who sacrificed their lives. That's
Unknown,
all I have to say.
that's enough. Thank you. She is in a position of grave debt to the Republic, and it's not right to attack her person.
I did not inform the Senate because I did not believe there would be an attack. I left the meeting early once I had understood who was there. Once I had understood who was there, I had left the meeting. I did not think that they said that they were trying to debate their actions. And I had said I will not stand for violence, and then I left. And there are others, I think, who are part of this meeting, but who are not here, who can attest to that. Though,
So,
yes.
just to make this clear, because I want to be accurate, I'm not sure if I understand. Are you suspecting members of House Umbria of potentially funding this fake legion?
Yes, because they promised, 2 members of the family promised to give them arms.
I see.
And what evidence is there to these allegations, Lucretia?
There is only the witness testimony of those who were there, but none of them are here. The only person I can call upon is Chicken Kinius, and if someone could bring him here, he would be able to attest to this.
It's very interesting indeed that you said this, particularly because I was approached by the person who I suspect now has been speaking into your ear. This person is trying to pit us against each other in the worst and most despicable way possible. I did not attend that meeting myself. I was not there. I had spies to go and see who the possible other benefactor was that they talked about. And lo and behold, that
You had
benefactor
spies
is
to
you.
leave, and you
I
didn't
did.
report it to the Senate?
Yeah, why didn't you report it?
I didn't report it because I did not know that there was going to be the communication between my spies and I did not get back to me in time before the Senate meeting was over. I did not learn of this information until quite literally 15 minutes ago.
It seems that what had truly happened, Divinia, was that a man had come between us, whispered lies in both of our ears, and turned us against each other. Because he told me of some secret Umbrians who were going there to overthrow the Republic, and I decided to participate in order to understand what these plans were, whether you were truly trying to betray the Republic or not. And it seems that he said the same to you about me. And then we were both poisoned with these lies. Because I too regarded you as a good friend of mine for so long, and I felt betrayed when I thought that you were trying to betray the Republic.
Amelia, I've worked with you for many years. You were my mentor, and I don't understand why you wouldn't even come to me about this.
I tried. Do you not remember how many attempted meetings we've had? And every time I attempted to have a meeting with you, some disaster would strike, and I couldn't attend to you because we kept on having this heresy thing go across the public, last year, and then I was not able to attend to you, and then I was going to attend to you now, but then the Civil War broke out. I had been trying to communicate with you the entire time, and I was not able to. Every single time I tried, things just kept on happening. And I'm deeply sorry. I'm really sorry for what I accused you of. I'm sorry for accusing you of attempting to betray the Republic. I did not think that Chicken King would... I shouldn't trust Chicken King. I trusted him way too much.
I believe we've been played. Amelia.
I'm deeply ashamed. This would be my last time as Servant. I had informed everyone that I was going to retire anyway. It will be my 50th birthday soon. Upon my 50th, I no longer feel that I am of capacity to serve the Republic. People decline when they grow old.
I don't like that you were looking at me when you said that. I'll choose to ignore that. But, my friends, my colleagues, I think it is clear that the allegations of today cannot go left unanswered, even if you plan on retiring. So, far be it from me to begin discussing a sentence before we had even determined guilt. I think for the purposes of our determination of guilt, it is reasonable to consider what Senator Lucretia's future looks like. I believe one reasonable possibility is to expel her from the Senate, and for the remainder of her term, turn her over to the Pontifex to serve the gods, just for the remainder of her term. Do we have thoughts on this?
In accordance with the notion that the Pontifex is the best person equipped to perhaps deal with such a matter, and I likewise agree that for the remainder of this term, I think that your tenure as senator might have to end earlier.
Very well then. In lieu of voting on guilt and voting on a sentence, since everyone seems to be in agreement, I propose we expedite the process.
I think we should hold a vote. I think a proper vote should be held regardless.
No, I concur entirely. But I propose that the vote is that you be found guilty of aiding and abetting heresy and failing to report treason to the Senate, and that as sentence for this crime, you shall be expelled from the Senate for the remainder of your term. That upon the next election, you shall be able to run for Senate again if you so choose. And that for the remainder of your term, but only for the remainder of your term, you shall be handed over to the Pontifex to serve the gods. Do we have any dissent, any agreement with that? Any modifications we would make before we take it to a vote?
I may have one. I know how much you value the social order of Rome. I think, although I do sympathize with Amelia, and I was touched by her words, I do think that perhaps instead of just handing her over to the Pontifex Maximus until the end of her term, we should hand her over until the end of perhaps the next year.
I see. I personally disagree, but I'm open to discussion on this point if we want to keep it brief, since it is but a minor detail.
I must protest. If the guilty verdict towards heresy is then, passed, guilty of heresy or aiding heresy is a crime most severe. a punishment like this is barely a punishment. Simple freedom of house arrest, being, forcing to follow around the pontifex, sure, will enlighten one's mind to the glory of the gods, but how can we know she will truly repent? This is a situation that has never happened before. A senator aiding, albeit ignorantly, a known heretic. This is
I
something
did not
that
aid Aster.
Perhaps.
you maybe.
It seems to me that the senator's crime is less one of malfeasance and more one of negligence. And in that regard, I do believe that the remainder of her term in service to the temples and the pontifex is a sufficient punishment. But in the interest of expediting this process, because we still have matters to resolve, I would say that we take it to a vote between the two options. Is that agreeable?
Very well.
Very well. I will start. I vote, well, first, that she be found guilty, but second, that her confinement to the pontifex shall last for the remainder of her term.
I shall agree. The same terms as Marcus.
Vulpeculus?
Sorry, I didn't set up my push to talk on this computer. I agree.
I likewise agree that her punishment will last to the end of her term.
I believe the punishment should last longer.
I believe the punishment should last longer.
I believe the punishment should last much longer.
I cannot, in good faith, give an opinion, for I was not here for the entirety of the trial, so I abstain.
I vote for a longer punishment as well.
You're tied, my friends.
Going at the consul or the tribune to speak up? I believe they are in
If they wish
attendance.
to, they will not have a vote, but if they wish to voice their opinion, perhaps it will sway a senator.
Let their voice be heard.
Seeing none,
It might be up to
Senator
tied?
Fulminius. Senator
Are we
Fulminius,
tied?
please break the tie.
Yes, are we tied on the length?
We are tied on
Yes.
the length.
Punishment
Half of us
decided.
believe that she should be in charge of the pontifex for the remainder of her term. The other half believe that she should be in charge under the pontifex indefinitely.
Emilia, I've known you to be kind before, but if what they're saying is true, then my father is. I think he...
Very well. Senator Lucretia, by the authority of the Senate, you are hereby removed from your post as senator and confined to the charge of the pontifex indefinitely. Have you any final words before you are sent away?
It was an honor to serve in your republic. Thank you for being my colleagues.
May the
Very well.
gods judge you.
Yes, may you find redemption in your service to the gods.
May the gods be kind to you, Emilia.
I'm sorry, Emilia.
They don't need to give me kindness. I will be judged. I asked Jupiter to judge me and to slay me. He refused to kill me. I wished to die, but I cannot be granted that mercy. I will head over to the temples. Thank you.
Very well. Very well. Now then, my
Goodbye.
colleagues, there are other urgent matters, and we have very limited time to discuss them. The matter of this false legion that took to the streets and caused chaos within our city. I think it is clear that none of us is particularly knowledgeable on what exactly happened or who supported them. But I think it is a given that they could not have acted alone. They were too organized for them to be simply a rabble of unruly plebeians. Respectfully, senators, I believe that Senator Lucretia was probably correct. I believe that they did have backing, and most likely from one of us. Until we gather the facts to determine exactly which of us, are there any measures that we would pass to prevent a second such situation or to enable the investigation?
I concur, Senator Monkius. As those allegations have been levied against me in particular, I do want to let the entire forum know that they tried to break into my house and attacked 2 of my house members who are Legionnaires, including my husband.
I see.
If I was working with them, why would they target me?
You raise a fair point.
But
Go ahead.
I wish to say a few things in the state of affairs. With the heretic dealt with temporarily, I would like to ask that us senators sort of allow ourselves to be open to any and all investigations regarding this attempted coup of our great republic. I think that we should allow the appointed judges to send people they trust to investigate each and every one of our households and talk to whoever they may wish, however they wish, including ourselves, to essentially question and ask us and our households where we were and if we have any relations to individuals. I think an open and honest investigation is the key to pushing forward this agenda of cleansing Rome, both spiritually and corruption students in the politics.
Senators, if I may ask, I know I was late to this. Do we have the names of the heretics? Do we know who this group of people are?
They have the Roman number 4 going into their name. They're a Roman host legion. But they have it spelled incorrectly in the style. They are spelled in 4 I's.
Understood.
The false legion, yeah. That is the matter, I think, with most legions.
I do believe the gods may have smited them down.
And do we know, while we're at it, we've been discussing very serious matters, where are the consequences? Where is the truth? And what could possibly be more important than this?
I know that Consul Unius of the Consul Unius is commanding the real Fourth Legion to hunt down the Fourth Legion.
I'm
the
confused
Tribune?
about the Tribune. I was told the Tribune had quit, which is why I made my way here.
What?
This is the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's new.
I was told by someone around me in the party that I was just in that I just got married very, very recently. And someone told me, that's why I came rushing here, that the Tribune had quit his job and joined the Legion. I was quite confused, which is why I rushed here. And I didn't see him here, which is why I'm confused.
I believe he is using his status as Tribune, or rather, his status as a Legionnaire, as an excuse to wear armor while serving as a Tribune. I do not believe the two are mutually exclusive.
No, the two are not connected in any meaningful capacity.
Maybe an amendment to the
I
order
was with
that...
the Tribune and I was witness to his induction into the Legion by one of the consuls as a matter of his own safety. That I was witness to. As for why he left this meeting as early as he has, I have no idea.
I appreciate that context. I thought I should say it.
Amendment saying that such loopholes should be closed?
I believe so entirely, yes.
Second, the emergency order is done with. I will throw away my armor as well, and my weapons. It is only in this great matter of heresy that I even dare to. I think we should be very clear that.
Well, he can come in.
I don't know what they're doing.
I think. Let me look at the actual constitution one moment. propose something?
Whilst I believe the loophole as it currently stands. There are two loopholes. The first is that the.
Okay. Thank you.
Are we allowed to go with there?
So what do you need?
Like, just to, like,
Console, they need you in the meeting.
sit inside?
Use your whisper.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Maybe.
Wait, who is it for?
Third Legionnaire, I think it would be better after you cooked it.
Oh. Him. Right. Oh. It's. I see. Oh, what's her name? Are
I
you
think
talking about Adelpha?
Lady Adelpha is being counseled by
Yeah.
one of the
She's at the
members of
house.
the.
He knows the directions better than me, I think. Should I do it? You want me to do it? Huh? Guys.
Hey, where are you going?
Bro, I'm gonna listen in.
Okay. Alright.
Hey, I'll see you guys.
Mind you, it's been a while since we've left the house. There's no guarantee that she would be there.
For your nephew, and for all in Rome.
So right now, I think one of the
O Mercury,
terms.
god of travel, protector of passengers, and those who wish to come from one place to another. We call upon you now
But I
as
think
those who have loved and who have lost, and who continue
I
this thread of
forgot the
loyalty,
actual role, but I think
of
that is one
family,
of
and of
the
peace in
religion
Rome.
people.
We call upon you to allow safe passage of the soul of Stebanius. Is it Stebanius or Stebaninus? I don't remember. Stebanius. I apologize. We call upon you now to safely escort Stebanius into this life,
Normally,
into watching over
I could
his
just
family
go up
here,
there and ask for
as he did in
permission
life,
to
and
let
as
you
he
in.
will do after
However,
death.
as she's the
We call
only
upon you to bring
patrician
peace
in
to
the
this
house,
family,
you
and
have to
safety to what remains of it.
I am very sorry. Time.
The gods have received our offering, and they smile upon this family.
I thank you.
Of course.
I apologize for how this has
I understand.
gone about, but
Let us be at peace that the conflict has for now abated. It seems you have guests, and I wish not to take up your time.
well, yes, I thank you for your time as well.
Yeah. It would be more referring if you could remove what this which has the only
I
person that you
apologize.
have.
I am just leaving. Oh, could somebody open that for me? Thank you.
Thank you once again. Is everything okay?
He has something to deliver for you.
Oh, yes. And was I the first family member to be told of this, if you happen to know? Of course, yes, Quinius. Well, I apologize for my altered state right now. I do appreciate the follow-up and for clarifying. I apologize that we have met on circumstances such as these, but I do thank you. I last saw Stebanius quite a while ago when we were our house was searched by Legion, one of the legions. I know he was not exactly in the best headspace at the time and was yelling at one of the Legion, some of the Legionnaires that came by. But that was... I am not quite sure. They did not tell us, and I unfortunately am not very well versed in which legions are which. However, I do know that the leader of the said section was an Aurelian, I believe. That is all of the information I could really give. Unfortunately, I was quite startled by everything that was happening. The details are slightly fuzzy. That would be... I wonder if at some point, tomorrow once my nephew is around and potentially my brother, if we could do that as a family, just to clarify things all together. I will try to send for them as soon as possible in order for us to get together. But I thank you again. This is... It sounds wonderful, thank you. Feel free to send any messengers to find us in the case that we're not here. Thank you.